Welcome to Live Action Star Wars Presents Data Link. I'm James.
I'm Ralph.
And I'm really happy to see that intro again. It has been a while since we've seen that one.
It's been so long.
It's been so long. So before the Acolyte season, we were obviously a bit spotty with releases because of movie schedules and things like that. But this time around as well, like it's been a couple of weeks since we've had an episode, but we were chatting yesterday and we were just sort of saying, are we doing an episode this week? And we realized we probably won't next week. So we thought we would give you one today.
Yeah. And you were like, hey, what about we talk about Outlaws? And I'm like, sure. Like, I don't know anything.
I've not played it. No, no, I don't really know much. But you came up with then the idea.
Fuck 100% clickbait for I just kind of wanted the assholes to show up. I think James is frozen. Am I frozen? Who's frozen? One of us is frozen. Okay, I don't know. Someone say who's frozen in the chat so I know who's frozen. Should I keep talking? Who talks first? You start first? Okay, so James is frozen. All right. So anyway, yeah, I'll wait for James to get back, but essentially we're going to be just chatting about Star Wars in general. While we're waiting on James to show back up, we'll say hey to some folks. Jeremy's here. Stevie's here and says, yay, Jeremy. Maybe we'll see Jeremy on the 10th for the Attack of the Clones live reading at the Dynasty Typewriter. I'm excited for that. Lucha Johnny's here. Johnny, how's it going? I have a Lanterns live tonight. If you guys don't know, that's a new show I'm doing to sort of, I don't know. It's something. There you are.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know what happened either.
I mean, I think my internet just died out of nowhere, but that's we have been out of this for a little bit.
Right. I have a thing on my screen that's like, it's a little tiny thing that says 36 pixels or 63 pixels by 0 pixels. Like I was clicking and dragging something, and now that's just up on my screen. I don't know what's going on. I'm going to close out everything on my desktop. Yeah, I kind of got here sort of hastily.
Yeah.
This morning, like this is nuts.
I mean, I'm in a vest top. That's like it's hot as balls here for England. Like I know that you guys have it hotter and everything, but like it's about 90 degrees Fahrenheit here. So yeah, we don't cope well in this sort of heat over here.
Yeah.
So you get to see all my
everything on my. Oh, it's gone. I think it was Photoshop.
Okay.
For some reason, Photoshop had decided. Anyway, what I was saying is like, I'm like, it's so fun whenever we post something like, okay, so there was the Skywalker Legacy, a documentary we watched about the making of episode 9.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked a picture of Daisy Ridley with J.J. Abrams because they're in that documentary. And it's nice to have someone's like face on the thumbnail.
Yeah.
So I put that and I put the Skywalker Legacy and people went ape shit. And I'm like, okay, so what I'm going to do this time is I'm like going to think about like, what can I put as a data link? Maybe we do another Q&A, which was just another bullshit session, which is this is pretty much going to be a bullshit session.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just us catching up and chatting vaguely about Star Wars.
Like, I'm like, okay, let me put a big old picture of Rey, and then what am I going to call it? And then I call it the future of Star Wars, and I'm sure there's people going to come by. Just leave a comment without watching the show and just be, she's not the future of Star Wars. and I can't wait for those
bring
responses.
them on.
It's fun.
I mean, you say she's not the future Star Wars, but I'm looking down this list and it feels like the biggest deal. I've got 33 things that I noted of like upcoming projects across different media. I've got movies, TV, games, books, comics, tabletop. They're the categories that I broke down this morning. And I've got 33 different things listed. And the Rey movie coming maybe second or third down this line of movies. I think that feels like the biggest deal out of all of it.
That's what I'm most excited for.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, we could get into it. I don't know anything about it. I know that at one point, Damon Lindelof was writing it, I believe.
Yeah, I think he was, or he did a pass on it, or he did the first treatment or something, and then there was creative differences, and he bowed out, but everyone was all cool. It wasn't like he said, they wanted to go away, I wanted to go away. There's no hard feelings. I'd love to like work in that field sometime in the future if it comes up and if the story's right.
It sounds like though, like they haven't really, I don't know if they've announced a new writer or anything, but I'm assuming they're still using the bones of what he created.
I mean, it's
because
in
it
the
definitely
same way
was. He was working on a Rey film. If I'm not mistaken.
I think that's like all but confirmed. I'd be shocked if there isn't some DNA there because I mean, you look at all three. Well, you look at 7 and 9 in particular. Like there is bones of what the other version, be that like the Michael Arndt version or the original screenwriter of 9. There's all of those.
Oh no, Trank was doing Boba Fett.
Trank was doing Boba Fett. It was the guy
Trevorrow.
The Trevorrow stuff. Like there's some stuff there still. So these guys all have story credits. All these people get credited, and it wouldn't surprise me if we see Lindelof's name with a story by credit or something like that at the end of the Rey movie.
Or just like, Lord and Miller got like producer credits.
Yeah, something
on Solo. So he'll probably get something.
I feel like he might be gone a little bit too early in the project for that level, but like something in the writing field, I'd be shocked if there isn't something in there. And that's
I like that dude.
I like his writing a lot. It's always at the very, very least interesting. But the first movie that is coming, which I believe is it's the one that you're least excited about, I would assume. Is the Mandalorian and Grogu. It's the Dave Filoni directed, not Dave Filoni directed, the Jon Favreau directed movie. Feels like the safest bet in a we just need to get something done and out movie. I think they've started filming or they're filming soon because, you don't need Pedro. You don't need a real life Grogu to be there on set. Pedro's busy, just started filming Fantastic Four, so he's not going to be there for a while. Doesn't need to be. He can show up and take his helmet off at some point in the film. But in the meantime, they can get, I'd say, probably 90% of that film done without him. There was news last week that it is being shot on IMAX cameras, which is cool and that's interesting. And I just really hope that means that they're going to go outside and do stuff because Favreau can shoot a film well. Like when he chooses to, he can. And I like seeing that. He reminds me a lot of Zemeckis in that way. Like, I can make a film, but he loves technology and he loves experimenting so much that when he finds something that he wants to play with, he gets too fascinated by a toy. And I just hope that if they're going, okay, this is a film, not TV, let's make it a feature film and make it look like a feature film.
Right. I want a story. I don't want walking around. I can't with the walking around. I'm so done with Mandalorian. It's the reason why I don't rewatch it. It's too much just walking around. And it's not interesting. I know it's supposed to be cool. Like, look how cool that guy looks. I've seen what he looks like.
But yeah, we've seen it now. Like, we've got 3 seasons of dwindling returns. Like, So I mean, I can't say I'm particularly excited. I would be excited if it is like very much a here we go, this is coming, and then the following year maybe, or the year after that is the Dave Filoni, what we're calling Heir to the Empire movie, like the culmination movie.
I'm not excited about that either.
But I mean, I am, because of what it could do, and it's a time frame, and it's interesting. It could be interesting, or it could just be, you know, another one of those shows where we're like,
they're based on the shows I'm not excited about, I think is the problem.
That is definitely the
The
problem.
way Ahsoka ended was such a fart of a final episode. I thought it was just absolutely just deflated any fun that I had leading up to that point. And Mandalorian has just been like, since episode 2 of season 1, I've been like kind of whatever, lukewarm on it. If you told me that Bryce Dallas Howard was directing Mandalorian and Grogu, then I'd be excited, because her episodes stand out.
Yeah,
her episodes of Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian episodes stand out. Maybe not so much the ATST one, but the other ones.
Yeah, they got better, whereas the show in general has got worse. I mean, I enjoyed most of season 2 of Mandalorian. I think that was probably my favorite of the bunch. There were some standout episodes in there, I thought, but in general, yeah, I'm just like, it's good. I enjoy it. I have fun with it when it's on.
Yeah.
I don't really think about it outside of that.
Is it going to look like we're just watching an episode on the big screen?
Yeah, and if so, why? That's my thing. Like, I think you saying there needs to be a story is key, and I really hope that is the case. I really hope
and hopefully a self-contained story. Like I've been slowing on like Marvel stuff. Like I haven't watched Loki season 2, and I haven't watched Eternals or Marvels, or Echo, and it's just like I can't. I'm tired of the homework. I'm tired of the homework. I really am. Watch Deadpool and Wolverine, and luckily he mentioned that the Elia.
I saw it. Yeah, I went last night. So yeah, seeing that
was from Loki season 1, episode 5. Like I'm like, okay, cool. Like he just let me know. I'm good that I didn't need to
just give me the Cliff Notes.
Season
like,
2.
Yeah.
And with all of the Star Wars stuff, and everybody so insane about things being interconnected, that I really need some Mandalorian and Grogu, because that's like the next thing coming, right? That's like
well, the next movie.
It needs to be like a standalone thing. I can't.
The way they ended season 3 with that, like the iris out, and it's like them done, bang, that's that whole thing done. I really hope, and the fact that, you know, like we've lost Carl Weathers now, so you've got a perfect intro to the film if you just want to open it on a funeral. There you go. That's here we are, and now boom, something happens. And moving on, telling this story.
But that last shot of season 3 makes me want like Unforgiven. Like the movie Unforgiven, but
I mean, again, losing Carl Weathers, a power vacuum there on Navarro. Dave Navarro. There's a story there. You could do an Unforgiven type story right there.
Yeah.
That's the first one. That's the first movie. The first TV show that we've got coming up, though, is, well, technically there's a Lego What If type show, like a thing. There's like a Darth Jar Jar in the trailer and things like that. But
yeah,
I mean, that's a Disney Plus season drop, kids focused. Like, it's cool. The Lego stuff has been fun, but
I would only do that episode if we get Bobby on. If Bobby comes on,
if we got Bobby on for it, I would watch it and we'd do it. Otherwise, like, I'm happy to see a clip here.
I would make it our first regular episode that wasn't
live
action.
Cool,
but only if Bobby comes on.
There you go.
When does that come out? Do you know when that comes out?
It's August sometime. So yes, it's pretty soon.
Maybe I'll reach out to Bobby.
The first like main TV show coming though is Skeleton Crew. Which is before the end of the year. I don't think we've got a date yet, but it's before the end of this year.
D23 is coming up. I'm assuming we'll get all the info there.
I think we'll get, like, because we got no Star Wars at Comic-Con last week, but and we didn't really get any like TV. Marvel seemed to stay away from TV announcements. Disney in general stayed away from anything TV, which is cool. Like you've got two events really close to each other. Keep them separate, like keep those things apart, and that's good. So yeah, Skeleton Crew, maybe we get an Andor date because they've finished wrapping now. A trailer would be nice. Probably a trailer for people in the room, whereas Skeleton Crew I could see them dropping a first full trailer for everyone.
Because they already did a thing in the room for people at Celebration,
yeah, which was
so I could see that.
Year. Yeah.
Skeleton Crew trailer Andor in room. And people say probably I can see the end of Andor, an Andor trailer having K2SO.
Of course, that feels like
unless Ben Mendelsohn's in it.
I mean, there's been a lot of rumors recently that Mendelsohn's going to be in there.
Secret Invasions, and that show fucking sucked.
Oh my god, that show sucked. And I think he's one of those guys who's like, hey, I'll do a job and I'll put my all into it, but I can't attest to the quality of things.
Right. But Andor, I'm sure would.
I mean, he's coming back. If he's going to be Krennic again, like he just could chew some scenery there, and I'm into that. I'd be up for some Krennic because it fits. Like he's not ISB, but he seems like someone who would have interactions with the Imperial Security Bureau, like transferring funds. If we saw that they're building a Death Star at the end of Andor, he's got some control over that. Like there's stuff that he can be involved in without ever interacting with the main cast. That's what Andor does as well. Like you can have different stories going on where they don't all need to converge. You can keep them separate and it still feel tight. We don't know much about Skeleton Crew yet, other than the things that we do know about Skeleton Crew that haven't been announced yet that we shouldn't talk about
Elephant
yet.
Boy.
There's Elephant Boy. There's Jude Law in a sexy trench coat, and they're kids on a spaceship up to some stuff. Sounds cool. Sounds fun. Right. I'm excited to learn more, hopefully in the next couple of weeks. But Andor, we knew some stuff, and bouncing off of Andor into books, they just announced, I think it was yesterday or the day before, I think it was yesterday, Rise of the Empire, which is a trilogy. First one's being written by Alexander Freed, who did the Alphabet Squadron books, which were excellent, really, really good books. But the Rise of the Empire, the first one is focusing on Mon Mothma a couple of years, or maybe not even that long, after Palpatine took control and turned it into an empire. The second book is a different author. The third book's going to be a different author. Second one's going to jump ahead 10 years. So presumably the third one's going to be right up close to where we catch up with everyone in, say, Rogue One and stuff like that. Don't know if they'll all be focused on Mon Mothma or if it's just the first one. I could see them. They've said that like it's going to be Mon Mothma, Saw Gerrera, Bail Organa are going to be like three main characters. So I could see it being a case of all three are in all three books, but each one is like honing in on a particular person. Sounds great. I'm all in. I like political espionage. I think that as a Star Wars book could be a real nice complement to Andor.
Yeah.
Couple of other books that have just been announced tying into TV shows. Wayseeker. I think the official title is Star Wars Acolyte Wayseeker, which is going to be following Vanestra Rowe about, I think it was 10 or 20 years before the show, The Acolyte. So in between the High Republic mainline books that are wrapping up in the next sort of year, I think by next spring they'll be finished, like that the original initiative. But the era isn't going away. They're still writing things in the High Republic as an era. So following on from that to where we meet Vern in the Acolyte show, telling some stories there. She's, according to the write-up, she's been a Wayseeker for the last few years, literally not listening to the council, not doing anything. She's off on her own. That's what the Wayseekers were back then. They are beholden to themselves and the will of the Force. That is it. She's called back to Coruscant. She resists at first. Then it's I'm blanking on her name. Trinity's character comes and sees her in Inara, Master Inara, she's in the book as well. So tying in characters and bridging a gap between where we saw young Vern and older Vern, which could go a long way to help people who are
she
pissy.
got that way.
Yeah, because really the only people that have any sort of qualms about that, or should have any qualms about that, are people who've read the books and are attached to that character. Here's another book, learn some more things. Back to movies though.
Any of those?
Yeah, that's fine. Like I'll read them. I'll tell you about them.
Info.
Yeah, yeah. Wikipedia will be updated straight after, and if you're interested in any of that stuff, yeah, fair enough. just come on here and we'll talk about it. I'll tell you about
Wikipedia ever.
No, me neither. I only do if I need to like have a cast list up or something like that that I need to reference on the show. We talked about the Rey movie. The other two, and we talked about the Filoni movie then. So actually, the only other movie that was announced at Celebration that I think is still a deadlock for now is the Dawn of the Jedi movie, the James Mangold one, which would be
right.
I really hope that it's still gestating and it's going to happen. I know Mangold's got another movie out soon.
You know what? Everybody loves that movie Logan. I thought it was fine. And I thought Dial of Destiny was pretty good, but mostly just fine.
Interesting. Okay.
So I'm not. You say James Mangold, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't
could be
know.
anyone. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
What about the time frame? Are you excited about that at all?
Yeah, because it has nothing to do with Empire.
Yeah.
Skywalker. Anything like that.
You're going back like
nice.
20 odd thousand years at that point, so it should be totally different.
Stevie likes Logan a lot.
I like Logan. I think Logan's a solid film. I mean, you might get some of what's his name, David Tennant's droid in Dawn of the Jedi. He's presumably
around before the Jedi even start. So
well, no, he's like, I think he's built by the Jedi, like in the earliest days.
Yeah, I guess I'm interested in seeing what this is about, because it's not going to be about the first Force user.
No. I think there's Force users, or whatever they call it, but the first Jedi, the yeah, we'll see. That one I think is a big lofty idea that they would love to do, but we'll see if they get to it. It doesn't seem like it's a priority, and neither does Lando, because God damn it, Donald Glover, I love you. But like, if you're gonna do it. Like, you've teased us with so many like runways and catwalks where you're rocking just the mustache again, and you're like, oh, is it happening? And apparently not.
Yeah, whatever.
He's been writing it with his brother Stephen for a while now. Last time someone asked him, he's like, yeah, we've been writing on it, we've been working on it. It is a movie now, not a TV series, because that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to do it as a movie. Whenever Kathleen Kennedy's asked about it, she's like, Donald's busy. We'd love to do it as soon as he's ready to do it, but you know what he's like.
Gonna see his new movie?
Which one's his new movie?
It's the one where he's like in Hawaii.
Oh yeah, Bando Stone in the New World. Yeah, sorry, it's because I've been listening to the album so much, I've forgot that there's the movie coming out. I think it's just a short film. Yeah, I think
it's not like a feature-length film.
It's from what I've heard, it's like going to be like 45-50 minutes. He did with Lava Island a few years back. So it will get a limited IMAX release, and then it will just be part of his Amazon deal where things just go straight to Prime. It looks cool. It looks super weird and different, and I could sort of, I watched that trailer and I'm like, shit, I've been there. I know where that is. So as I'm sure you would.
Locations.
Yeah. It's all the ranch.
So is he directing that?
I think he's directed it. He's definitely written it. Yeah, I think he's.
So do you think he would direct Lando?
He can. Him or Hiro Murai would be my picks. Who's the director? He works with on things like Atlanta, and he's done a lot of his old music videos and stuff. I'd be really into either of those guys. I'd be into Hiro doing it, I think, more than Donald. Let's pull up Lando. Got it here.
I'm not super fired up for that. I know you are.
Of course, I'm in the pocket for it.
we were watching something recently, and
Donald
Ludwig
did
Göransson
direct.
came up, and Stevie was like, "Ludwig Göransson did that," and I said, "Yeah, he's like buddies."
Yeah. That's where he came
Yeah.
from. Was like they met on
Community,
the
right?
Community sound. Yeah, he was doing Community in New Girl at the time. And he met Donald. They hit it off. Donald was already DJing and rapping and stuff, and then that's where sort of Childish Gambino came from. Was when Donald was sort of changing projects from MC DJ or whatever he used to call himself to being Childish Gambino. Ludwig
Right,
was
what you
brought
got
on.
from like a hip hop name generator
Yeah.
online?
Well, Childish Gambino came from a Wu-Tang name generator, specifically.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fun.
Yeah, it's great. But yeah, no, Ludwig's been there since like early mixtapes like Cul-de-sac and stuff. It's great. And he's back doing some of the production on this latest album as well, which you can hear it is really good.
I wonder if Ludwig would do the Mandalorian and Grogu.
It'd be nice if he came back because like
I think
the other guy was fine, but it'd be nice if Ludwig was doing it himself.
Yeah, the other guy was fine.
Yeah, but like that theme when it first hits and all the music in season 1, like it's amazing and it stands out. It's cool and different.
Yeah. I guess I would be excited for that.
Yeah, I will be. I think that's where, like, if we're ever gonna see Kira again on film or Han, like, as
I mean, it's
but I mean, like, Donald Glover's pretty much like damn near the same age that Billy D was in Empire. Like, they're pretty close at this point. So it's like whatever. It doesn't matter. It's Donald now. Like,
yeah. I'd be cool to see Ludwig do both.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exciting. I think I'd be excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know.
Yeah. I think
not like I love Lando, but a whole movie revolving around Lando is kind of weird.
I think it would be super weird and different because if they're giving Donald the creative freedom that it seems like they are, at least at the script stage, then everything that he's worked on that is his project, so Mr. and Mrs. Smith and Atlanta, other things that are like very much his, they all have this just air of cool, even if they are weird and different or actiony, or there are horror elements in episodes of Atlanta and stuff like that. It's like there's always
I lost your audio.
Oh no. Am I back?
I can't hear you. I don't know if it's you or me. Something's
Probably
going on.
Me.
Yeah, you're quiet.
What's going on?
Maybe bounce out and come back in.
I'm gonna bounce out.
Again, anybody in the chat, let us know who's not being involved. There goes James. So unless my headset died. Oh, they can hear James.
Well, in that case, I'll come back. Did your AirPods die?
Yep.
They died.
That's what happened.
Folks, we are doing great today.
I can hear you through my screen as long as that's okay, as long as you're not getting any echo.
I'm not getting any echo at the moment.
Okay, cool.
I think we're good.
Right.
I think we're good. So yeah, I think if they let Donald cook and let him do his own thing, I think that will be really cool. Which would be nice. That'd be cool. Sean Levy, we were talking about Deadpool and Wolverine. He's been rumored and he's apparently signed on, just not announced yet, to do a Star Wars movie. He seems to be in the Disney house at the moment. So,
right. Wasn't Kevin Feige supposed to be producing some
shit? That one officially is cancelled. Like he was saying, like he was working on some stuff. It's dead. It's not happening. I think he was sort of realized that he needed to go and right the ship over there a little bit first.
Right.
So I think that one's officially dead. The one from Weiss and Benioff is officially dead. So there's those ones are gone, not to be resurrected. We don't talk about them anymore, sort of situation.
Right.
But the Sean Levy one, I'm just like, I watched Deadpool and Wolverine last night. I liked it, but there's nothing visually about it that made me go, that's a director that I want working on a Star Wars. Like it was, I, it sounds quite insulting to say, but it feels quite journeyman. Like it feels like just like this is what the film is. It's doesn't have any sort of
I feel
particular
like that's
flourish.
kind of what he was until he met Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, yeah. And then
And
they
I
just
didn't
sort
see
of
the
hit it
Adam
off.
Project. I don't know
Oh,
if it's
I
any
think I
good.
watched that at work, and it was like the most forgettable, like
Right.
dull movie that I ever saw.
I enjoyed Free Guy for what it
I didn't see it.
was.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
It's fun. Like
Yeah.
it's a good movie. Like I really enjoyed it. But yeah, I guess their relationship just led him to Deadpool and Wolverine, which I really enjoyed. I thought was really good.
It's like
Um,
Christopher McQuarrie and Tom Cruise. Like it's just a partnership that really works. Like
right.
so
But
that
again, also I feel like Christopher McQuarrie doesn't really have a style.
no, he's just is good at working with a particular crew of people.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's why like Sean Levy coming into a Star Wars, like I don't want Ryan Reynolds in there. I think that would be distracting and not the right tone. But it makes me go like, all right, fine. I guess it doesn't do anything for me.
It's like they keep just saying names to
Yeah,
see what sticks.
who's just opened a big movie? There you go.
Yeah.
You get a Star Wars.
Because weren't they talking about Sean Levy possibly directing an Avengers movie or something? But now it's back to the Russo brother. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it went back to the Russo brothers because Robert Downey Jr. said he'll only come back if it's the Russo brothers and $80 million. And they said, okay.
Give I mean, here's a name. Give Rogue Squadron to Joseph Kosinski.
Yep.
So that dude
Okay.
has tons of style.
Yep.
Also made the biggest movie with Tom Cruise. And Tom Cruise is in the middle of doing Mission Impossible. So I don't think there's any sort of plan to do another Top Gun. I mean, I'm assuming there's some sort of thing that they're
I'd be
like
shocked if they don't at some point, especially considering like who the co-leads in that are and like the fact that they're huge now as well.
Just
like
Glenn Powell.
Yeah, like just make Glenn Powell the lead. Like
Yeah.
you've got it right there.
Yeah, I could see that, but like Joe Kosinski, I don't know what he's up to, but that dude, he's interesting. First movie was Tron Legacy, which I love because I'm a massive Tron fan. Then he went and did Oblivion with Tom Cruise.
Mm-hmm. That's what got him Top Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Top Gun was a massive hit.
And amazing. Like we've talked about it and how that's what we want. That's the sort of thing that we want out of Rogue Squadron. So
right.
Rogue Squadron's one of those projects that they're still apparently working on. Still Patty Jenkins, but just very much on the back burner. We'll see. Like I think that is just really a case of we will see. Same with Taika's movie, same with Rian Johnson's trilogies. Like they're not dead. They're not afraid to say that a project is dead if it is dead. Whereas these ones, they're like, we'll get there when we get there. We shouldn't have announced it. I think is what
they'll get to it when they get to it.
Yeah,
they're busy.
Yeah,
I heard the new Time Bandit show was no good. I like the movie. I'm a fan of the movie.
I remember the movie. It's been a long time since I saw it.
Yeah, I mean, it came out when I was like 6.
Yeah, perfect.
So yeah, it was right in my wheelhouse, and they played on cable all the time. So like, I don't want to watch the new one. I just
don't need it.
Like, I don't understand why Taika is doing all these shows, and he just do movies. Like I like the Thor movies.
Yeah,
I like the majority of his movies. I didn't see.
I really liked Our Flag Means Death, though. I think I'd take Our Flag Means Death over most of his movies. To be fair, like I think that show is incredible.
Yeah, but I like What We Do in the Shadows. Yeah. But I just don't, and I guess Reservation Dogs is amazing.
Oh, incredible! I mean, he's that's not his show. He's just got like an exec producer on that, I think.
Right.
But yeah, Res Dogs is amazing. Give those people a Star Wars movie. Fuck, that'd be amazing.
Right. Yeah. Jojo Rabbit was great.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Our flag.
It's yeah. Filoni's Taika's movie. I feel like it's sort of in the same way that the Lando movie. If they let Donald do his own thing, at least it will have some uniqueness, which I think I'm ready for and I want in a Star Wars. We always praise it when there is something that looks different, sounds different, feels different. So if we get that, then even if I don't particularly like it, I won't shit on it because they swung. They took a swing at something different, and that's good. That's what
I've
we
heard
want.
it's a unique take.
Cool.
I wasn't told what that take was. I heard it was
Okay.
a unique take
Mm-hmm.
on Star Wars. So
Interesting.
I'm all for that.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
all for it.
Give us
I
some.
think that's why
stuff.
I'm not excited about the Heir to the Empire and the Mandalorian and Grogu because it's going to be
safe movies.
Yeah, it's going to be more of the same. The
Yeah.
Rey movie I'm so excited about because like you can
Pushing
now
forward.
step outside of what people think are, of the Skywalker saga.
Yeah.
Like we kind of thought how that was supposed to go and it kind of went that way or whatever. Oh, we know Ben Solo turned to good and redeemed himself. It's like we know that it's time now to just like go different.
Move on.
Hopefully John Boyega can be brought back and like really flesh out his character, flesh out stuff that was set up in The Rise of Skywalker that got kind of cast aside. So
we are what they grow beyond, and like I feel like we're all ready to move on and move forward, and yeah. So even people that have like legitimate gripes with those films, I don't think many of them have a problem with Rey as a character. So there are obviously the people who do.
Yeah.
Most of those people, whatever, you're not going to ever please them.
Assholes.
Yeah, fuck those guys. But like Rey as a character, Rey as a lead, she's got it. She's ready. Like, let's go. Let's just get it going.
Yeah,
and she seems excited about it, which I think helps a lot. She seems excited and ready. And there's all this talk about like there is a script. She's reading a script. They are tweaking, and I feel better about that because I'm like, at least there is a finished product that they can go and iterate on and get to a point where they're all like, this is really good, as opposed to going, fuck, we got a release date, we got to do it, we got to go now. So
yeah,
like get it right and get it good, but let's get it going.
Right.
That's all I've got for movies. TV shows, we've talked about Skeleton Crew and Andor. Ahsoka is getting a second season. That was announced. Which, I mean, feel what you feel about the finale. Most people agree with you. But you enjoyed the show up until that point, and I think there is so much there still for them to tell. It's just, it's sort of felt incomplete. And it took the sales out of it. So if they keep going with the same momentum that they had up until that finale, great, cool, let's go.
Yeah.
Love the cast, love what they were doing. We don't have everyone. We'll see what they do with Bale and Skull, but we've still got Shin, so we can still continue that story with her. She's really good.
Why didn't they bring in Zeb? It's so weird.
It's so weird considering they put him into Mando. Yeah. Cost too much? I don't know. I feel like they've done that to appease so that they set him up.
But they made
yeah. Who knows? Hopefully season 2 when they need to go and rescue the other two from there. I hope they just get themselves back. I hope that like basically it opens like end of the first episode, they're getting themselves back and it's like bang, done, we're back. And Zeb and Ezra just like, we were just getting ready to come get you guys. Like, and that would feel very in character for those two. They can't get anything done because they just fuck around with each other too much.
Right.
So that'd be nice. Not been announced yet, but The Acolyte got to get a second season, right? It's gonna happen.
I'm assuming.
Yeah, they took them. I think it was 3 months before they announced Ahsoka season 2. So we've still got time. It's only been
D23.
Yeah, maybe D23. Maybe they save it for next year Celebration.
I feel like D23 they want to make sure that there's announcements for things that are actually going to happen.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. I mean, it technically is an investor event, so like that's an important one. It's not just a roll your Channing Tatum's out on stage and say we're making Gambit, and then a decade later they don't make it. But we won't say anything else unless people have seen some things. You can figure.
I mean, can I just say, like, I don't
Yeah,
know
he
if
was
you haven't
amazing.
seen Wolverine and Deadpool and Wolverine, but so when Channing Tatum first showed up, I'm like, wow, he looks really stupid.
Yeah,
But it was definitely comic accurate. But by the time he started, like when he had his main action sequence showcased,
looked
I was
fucking
like,
great.
this is, I would watch this.
Absolutely, it made me go, "Oh shit!" It's almost a shame that we never got this, but like,
Yeah.
I don't have faith that it would have been done well.
I have a feeling they didn't do that version for his movie. You know what I mean?
Oh, I don't think they would have done that.
I
Not
think for
in
this
the
one,
same
they're
way.
like, well,
I think
since
they
he's like
played
such
up.
a
They
side
played
character,
up. Yeah, they
let's
made it
do him
exactly a
right.
exactly comic book accurate costume, which does look stupid. Real heavier on the accent because it's
It's a
funny
joke.
and you can make a joke out of it.
Yeah.
But then action wise and like the powers and everything, nailed it. Like it's
Perfect.
so good, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Channing Tatum's one of these people. He's just fun. He just seems like he's having fun sometimes.
He's someone that I always wanted to be Guy Gardner in.
Yeah, that's a
And
great call.
like he would be perfect at that as that. And I'm like sitting there watching Deadpool and Wolverine, and I'm like, well, there's Hal Jordan and there's my Guy Gardner, and it's like, fuck, like they would have been so good together.
Yeah, well, clearly.
I mean, whatever. Nathan Fillion's fine, I guess. I'm not.
Is he announced? Is that happening? Is it?
He's Guy Gardner.
He's okay.
There's set photos.
Oh wow.
Nathan Fillion's Guy Gardner. It's we'll
sorry, see. Ian. Should we move off it so Ian can come back? There you go. You're back.
I guess it is pretty soon.
Yeah. It is pretty soon, but I feel like based on the box office, most people saw it. Ian hasn't got a chance yet. It's fine.
Jesus.
What else have we got? Mando season 4 is happening. It's
really?
So it's bound to happen at some point. I think they said
really?
like, yeah,
there's
no.
Mando season 4?
I mean, I think it might be after the movie or something. I don't know, but whatever. Maybe they just announced it and it'll be like a secret backdoor way of putting another show out that people aren't expecting. That's my hope.
It'll be the Bo-Katan show.
Ooh, Book of Bo-Katan.
That would be a nightmare. Book of Bo-Katan.
I think you can order that at a restaurant. And then the other project, which feels like what's this Seth Green comedy that never happened or happened?
Detours.
Made Detours that exists and just sat there in a vault somewhere. I feel like a Droid Story is a bit like that as well. This other animated show, C-3PO led thing that Anthony Daniels done. He's finished. He's recorded all the lines for it. It's all done. And by quite a lot of accounts, it's like an almost finished or finished product that is just sitting somewhere. And it's like, why is that not out? How bad is it? Like what are you waiting for? I forgot about it until I was looking down a list of like upcoming projects and I saw that it was still on there. I was like, oh, yeah, that wasn't cancelled, was it? Like, it's not like a Rangers of the New Republic. This one does still exist. Weird. Because that was announced at the same time as the Acolyte and Andor, and before Ahsoka. It's so strange.
So we have the Lego one coming out with Bobby, and then Skeleton Crew. So maybe it comes out after. Maybe it comes out next year. Early next year.
Maybe because I think everyone was assuming that when Bad Batch ended, there would be a little while, and then there would be an announcement of the next animated show in that vein, like following on Clone Wars, Rebels, Resistance, kind of. Then Bad Batch, or Season 7, which was basically its own show. Then Bad Batch, and then whatever's next. We haven't had that announcement yet. They've been hiring. They've definitely been hiring for a new Star Wars animated project. That's like job listings have been out and they are there. But whether or not that means that they're already in development and they're just still hiring, or we're a few years away from that, it's interesting.
Just do my idea is just do
Rogue Squadron.
Start doing High Republic stories.
That'd be great. Like they've done it with the like middle grade stuff. So
Yeah.
just do some stuff back then. Like you can tell it as an anthology.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll get another anthology at some point. I thought Tales of the Jedi was better than Tales of the Empire, but I enjoyed them both. I liked them both.
Because Clone Wars and Rebels came at a time when there wasn't really movies coming out.
We needed
Well,
something to
the tail end of Rebels, we
Yeah.
got like Rogue One tie-in and stuff.
Yeah.
And then like when Bad Batch came, I'm like, fuck, we're just going back to this same era.
Yeah.
Like, what can you do? Like, what's a show you can do other than between 6 and 7, which doesn't sound fun. Like that era does not sound fun to me.
I've got something to talk about in that era.
Yeah, and then so I'm thinking High Republic, but
High Republic would be great. There's a lot you can tell,
so and it's far back, and I feel like,
and it's like you can put a High Republic branding on it, and it's like that gives you such a swath of time to play with. Like that's just so long.
Yeah. Leave post Rise of Skywalker to movies.
Yeah. Like I have been saying since way back that before they announced the Rogue Squadron movie, I was like, I'd be happy with a Rogue Squadron animated film, New Republic era, like Wedge led, like you can include some stuff from the books if you wanted to do some book stuff, like Corran Horn and things like that. So you could do it there. That would be a way of doing it. You could do the big action just as an animated show. Shiny Plastic People wants a Star Wars stoner comedy, The Highest Republic. That'd be fun. I'm sure Kevin Smith would be happy to write on that.
I don't know. That's the thing, is I don't know if Disney would go like if
comedy.
people can't handle.
Well, they couldn't handle Lord and Miller, and like apparently they wanted a more comedic take. So
yeah, it's.
I don't think they do it with a live action.
I think Detours would come in because I think they're working on a comedy for Star Trek.
Yes, they are. Yeah, that
right.
Was
and I think something like Lower Decks maybe help that happen for Star Trek. Totally. Whereas maybe Detours might be a thing where like, hey,
stepping stone. We can do it.
Yeah. It's so hard.
I feel like it's the sort of thing that you could do on so much of a smaller budget, and like you almost do it as a sitcom. Like you could just have
let's do Tag and Bink.
Hell yeah, that'd be great.
Like,
it doesn't need to be like when you've got things like what's the anime one?
Robot Chicken?
No, the anime Star Wars show.
Visions.
Visions. When you've got things like Visions, it makes me go, shit, they're willing to do these things that aren't in canon and continuity and stuff. Do Tag and Bink. Tag and Bink would be so much fun as an animated series.
Right. Do Jason Sudeikis and Adam Pally.
Perfect.
From Mandalorian. Like, have them be the characters.
Yeah, have them be Tag and Bink. And that way, like, you can always include new material. You can have Tag and Bink in any era. They can be these timeless characters who, they are Rosencrantz and Guildenstern. That is their place in this.
Yeah, make it an anthology series. Just have them show up in every era. Who cares?
Yeah,
great. I feel like, goddamn, like as much as I like Dave Filoni, he's so serious about Star Wars.
Yeah,
Star Wars is sacred, and it's one of the things I liked about Solo. It didn't feel sacred. It felt like fun.
Just fun.
Like, just let's have Star Wars just be fun. Yeah. Stop. It can't be so serious. Mike Dodd and Chris are having a thing. So with the Highest Republic, all the Jedi would have green lightsabers.
Snoop is the Grandmaster. Like, yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Fuck it. Do it.
I don't know. Just I like when Star Wars is fun.
You talked about the end of between 6 and 7 era, like so the fall of the Empire, like rise of the New Republic time. The mainline Star Wars and Darth Vader comics have been playing between Empire and Jedi. They are wrapping that up in the next 2 months. because they're butting up now to Jedi. They did it with the last one when they were in between movies. Now they're there, so that's done. They're jumping ahead to just after that, I think, like immediately after Return of the Jedi, and it's the build up. It's like the year building up to the Battle of Jakku. They're doing it not as like an ongoing series. They're doing it as a series of minis. Like they're just calling it as a big maxi series, so they can probably put it all together in one big omnibus when they're finished. But yeah, the Battle of Jakku Insurgency, I think, is the first bit of that that's coming. And that's going to include a few different series and minis and stuff like that all tie in together. I'm intrigued. I'm interested. It's tying up stuff that was set up years ago now in the Aftermath novels, which did set up and culminate there. Weirdly, Snap Wexley was a main character in those books. But there was others, and there was a lot of stuff in that era, like just around The Force Awakens coming out, where it felt like they were doing a lot. There was comic series, and there was a mobile game that all was taking place in there. Alphabet Squadron takes place around there, so you get like Project Cinder, which has been mentioned on TV as well. And it's the Emperor's contingency plans and all of his like machinations and stuff. So again, it's doing that same thing that we always say, like, that feels like a lot of what the Disney stuff does is like, we're going to try and explain some things that you didn't like and make you like it through context. Which is, hey, when it hits, when it works, you get things like some of those best episodes of Clone Wars, and you get things like Rebels, which are great. You get Rogue One, which didn't need to exist, but it's great. So if this is good, cool. If it's not, it's a comic book. You don't need to read it. You don't need to worry about it. It's not gonna quote unquote matter in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
High Republic's also wrapping up. They are doing another mini series, which is going to include Kalnaka from the Acolyte. He's going to be popping in. So
it's cool.
It's comics pulling in characters from TV that were pulling in characters from books. That it's the interconnectedness when it works, because you don't necessarily need the other thing to enjoy it.
Yeah,
which is nice. Games. We were going to talk about games, and we were going to talk about Outlaws. It's out in a few weeks. It looks really cool. It's big open world, sort of GTA style, where it's got like a reputation system and a wanted system. The Empire essentially cops in GTA, but each faction, so you've got like the Pikes, and you've got Jabba, and you've got Black Sun, and all those criminal syndicates. You can sort of raise and lower your affiliation with them to make things easier or harder for yourself. It looks cool. It looks really good. They were showing it to people this weekend, like influencers and news outlets and stuff, and overall pretty damn positive. I think people seem quite pleasantly surprised, because it's a Ubisoft game where there's usually people are sort of feeling the fatigue of that, where like it's just collectibles on a map, go here, do this. But Outlaws doesn't do that quite as much. It looks good. I'm excited for it. There are 4 other games that I could see that are in various stages of development. Whether or not any of them actually get finished. You got Star Wars Eclipse, which is set High Republic timeframe, by Quantic Dream, who make a lot of like those super cinematic games. And
wasn't that company like super problematic?
Very, very problematic. They do not talk about that game at the moment because, Quantic Dream and the guy who runs it was real gross. So, yeah. There's a real-time strategy game, or a strategy game sort of similar to XCOM, if you've played any of the recent XCOM games, by Respawn Entertainment, who have also done what was the big Titanfall they made. That'd be cool. We haven't had a Star Wars strategy game in a long, long time, and I used to love some of those on the PC back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. As the KOTOR remake, Knights of the Old Republic, getting a full remake. People love it. I think it's fine.
I'm not very good at it.
Yeah. And then Amy Hennig, who was the person behind the first few
Uncharted.
Uncharted games. Yeah. She's back making a Star Wars game. She was making a Star Wars game, then
Yeah.
she was fired off of a Star Wars game. Now she is back making a Star Wars game for Skydance. Skydance like interactive or whatever it is. So that's
Yeah,
probably
I
quite a
remember
few
her
years
doing the
away.
presentation and showing gameplay footage.
Yeah.
Which it almost looked like Jedi Survivor.
Jedi Survivor meets Outlaws, I think. Like it felt like somewhere in between. But I'm interested to see what she'll do because she is sort of one of those people in games who
Uncharted 2 is like one of the greatest video games ever made.
Of course. And like she's a name in video games. I feel like whenever you get a video game with a person like a Todd Howard or something like that, where you know their name, it's like they are in control of a studio. It's their vision.
Yeah.
Hideo Kojima and things like that. Like these guys, it's a vision. Only other books that I haven't talked about is the Mace Windu book that's out next month or the month after. I'm probably not gonna read it. I might if I'm not gonna rush to it. And then on tabletop, it's pretty much all Star Wars Unlimited. Star Wars Unlimited is like the biggest Star Wars game in terms of sales and everything ever. Ralph, you tried very kindly to get me the con exclusive thing from San Diego the other day when you were there. It sold out almost instantly, and there were lines out the ass because everyone wants those cards.
Are you going to be able to get your hands on them?
Don't think I know anyone.
Sucks?
I don't know anyone going to Gen Con. If anyone listening or watching is going to Gen Con and wants to try and get me one, I will obviously send you the money and shipping and everything, and I'll be very, very appreciative. But don't wait in line for it. It's not worth it. Like it's not. Don't pay scalpers. Anyone who is playing that game, don't pay scalpers the stupid money that they're charging for those cards online. It's not worth it. Gen Con. Stevie asked what Gen Con is. It's big tabletop game convention in Indianapolis every year. It's Comic-Con of tabletop games. Fantasy Flight or the parent company Asmodee have ended X-Wing miniatures game and Armada, the two miniatures games where like little ships, big ships. They've still got Shatterpoint going, and the deck builder game that I talked about on a bonus episode here has a Clone Wars era expansion coming later this year, which is fun because that game's fun. It's a quick like 2-player, pick it up, play it in 15-20 minutes. Like it's a really good Christmas gift game, I think. Jeremy Kelly asked what I feel about the new Star Wars Unlimited set. I'm really liking it. It's really fun. There's new mechanics, lots of underworld cards, lots of smuggling, lots of bounties and things like that. They've introduced a few new mechanics. I was going to do an unboxing of a box like I did the last one, but we weren't available. I wasn't available. Ralph wasn't available. And I just wanted to open the box and start playing with some of the cards. So I just did it. But yeah, it's great. I love it. I managed to get a couple of really nice cards in like the first pack that I opened. So it's nice. Basically a card worth the price of the box in the first pack that I opened. So it's nice. I haven't sold it though, because I want to use it. It's fun. Really good game. Really hooked. And it's really annoying because that sort of game is not cheap.
Yeah.
That's all I've got. That's my entire list. I did a bit of a speed round there at the end.
You're right in at 58 minutes.
I know. I saw the clock ticking and I could smell some food cooking.
So I will say this, for those of you that watch our other show, they did announce a season 4 of Invincible. Very excited about that. It looks like we're getting the blue and black suit season 3.
Black season 3 is right on the poster. Like they're not messing around with that. I feel like we're gonna probably get that by the end of the first episode.
Yeah, and if you look at that poster, there is a shadow of another Invincible.
Great
on the brick wall. So it's
they're doing it. They're just telling the whole thing. I think at this point they're like, we'll tell the story at whatever pace we need to tell the story. Hopefully people keep watching and we keep getting to make it.
So they announced season 3 before season 2 started. They've announced season 4 before season 3 started. I'm assuming before season 4 starts, we're gonna get season 5.
We're getting the whole run.
I'm so excited about that. I don't know. I'm assuming the next season will be early 2025.
I hope so. Like Kirkman said, I saw an interview with him and he was just like, we don't have much to show you today. We do have a cool announcement. We are going to have a cooler announcement very soon. The show is coming soon, but the announcement of when the show's coming is coming even sooner, which is the most Kirkman ass answer ever.
Obviously,
where it's like,
the announcement comes sooner than the show.
Yeah, at least come to say hi, everyone.
Hello.
Up. No. Up. No, she's very hot. It's very hot.
Yeah.
And she also hasn't had a walk because it's too hot outside.
Yeah.
So she's just come to bug me. Yeah, that's gonna do it, I think. But yes, excited for Invincible. Jeremy Kelly's excited for Invincible as well. We didn't have a bonus episode to talk about, unfortunately. Otherwise we would have just dropped probably an Invincipod today instead of this. But
yeah, we're kind of hoping that they do a Rexplode.
You never know. We might get one. We might still get one.
Maybe that's the news that's coming sooner.
Maybe. Yeah, they do that as an announcement for when season 3 is coming. It's but we've also got this.
Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be cool. And you know that we'll be over on Invincipod as soon as they do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as this show goes, if we're not here next week, that's very good news for me personally.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
If I am here, that means that fell through.
And that would suck.
But for those of you that don't know, I'm producing a documentary about the show Lost. The premiere in Los Angeles is on September 22nd, which is really close.
Rapidly approaching.
Yeah. We're getting down to the wire, and I've actually got work to do today on it. So yeah, just busy. This show will be kind of spotty at best as far as our release schedule. So make sure to hit the bell icon so you're notified when we are going to be going live. And our socials, we'll have socials. I mean, this show...
Keep an eye on the socials for what we're going to talk about, because we don't know yet.
Yeah, this one came pretty last minute.
Yeah.
So just keep an eye. We'll be around. Thank you guys for joining us. It's been fun. I'm just glad to talk, because we weren't here last week, and I'm like, oh man, we got to do this because I don't think I'll be here next week.
Yep.
And
then it's too long in between. What's for dinner? Tacos? No, I think it's a lasagna. I think there's a veggie lasagna being cooked downstairs at the moment.
That sounds good.
Tacos will be coming soon. We were going to do some last Sunday. We were going to go get some tacos, but the place was closed. It was really sad. We were going to, we know where we're going for the next one. It's a bit of a drive out of here. It's up in Oxford. So as soon as we can get to Oxford, we've got friends up there, so we're going to sort of tie it all together. So when their schedules are free, when we're free, when we can get there, that will be the 10th episode of Top 10 Tacos.
I'll see if Stevie wants to do a mini segment for you guys.
That'd be great.
Because we've been going to like new places, trying new tacos recently, and I was like, oh, you know what? We literally sit there and talk about them, and like if we recorded something for like 3 minutes,
yeah, perfect.
That'd be fine.
Yeah, that'd be great. So yeah, subscribe to Top 10 Tacos.
Subscribe to Lanterns Live.
Subscribe to Lanterns Live. You got an episode coming up soon, right?
What's that?
You got a new episode of that soon?
Tonight.
There you go.
It's all live. All live, because the thing was,
not just a clever name.
Yeah, the thing is, I was like, I'm gonna do it once Stevie's at our ukulele class, which is Wednesdays nights at 6, and so I'm like, okay, I'll do it then, and that way it's just I can do something that's not just like I'm putting cue the music kind of on the back burner, because it takes too much time. And with the live shows, like when we went from live action Star Wars to actually like doing it live
it was
a game changer as far as like timing. Like it takes an hour and you're out, or an hour and 4 minutes at this point. But for me, I was just like, I want to talk about Green Lantern. I'm excited about Green Lantern. The book is good again.
Cool.
the show's coming out, and I'm like, I want to do this, and I was like, it'll be a half hour while Stevie's doing your ukulele class, and then, yeah, it's just a fun thing I do, and I just, I'm excited about it. And there's an episode tonight. It'll be a solo one. I haven't asked anybody to join me, but I may talk about Ryan Reynolds.
Mm-hmm.
Just in general. So
it makes sense. It makes sense. It feels appropriate.
Yeah.
Go subscribe to that. Watch Ralph later on tonight, and we will be back soon.
Eventually.
Yeah. Eventually. Hopefully not next week. Weirdly to say. Hopefully not next week.
Yeah. We're hoping not next week.
Yeah.
All
right. Until then, the future's Star Wars is coming at some point. That's coming. We're coming. It's all going to be there when it's there. Hopefully no technical difficulties next time. But until then, don't give in to hate.
Celebrate the love.
Punch it.